Hello, lovelies. Welcome. It's Kelsey L with Mama on the Glow. And I wanted to jump on here today before I have a Q&A coming up with my wonderful goddesses in my love group because I'm so excited. I just heard from two of my wonderful ladies, and I try to keep in touch with everyone that I work with. But over time, obviously, especially if, they get really successful in what they do, and what they, came to work on with me, I tend to not hear from them for a while because they're living their life. They're having fun. They don't need me anymore, which is always really great. And that's the goal, right? Is you don't need your coach anymore. You don't need your mentor. You've got this. So of course, there are times that come up where, maybe a question comes up. A lot of my women who get into really great relationships, then, maybe a year in, it's like, okay, now I want the proposal, or now I want, to turn this into something even deeper, or maybe we hit a roadblock. Have you, ever dated someone who it seemed like everything was going really, really well, and then maybe 5 months in, you hit this major roadblock and you're not quite sure if it's going to move forward in the right direction. Or, there are times that you're thinking this could be the one. You want it to turn into marriage, something, more powerful. And maybe the guy is kind of waiting, or you both are waiting. You're not quite sure if you want to jump in. And a lot of times that's just simply fear on both people's parts. And if you think you've squashed all your fear and you've gotten through all of that, it will sometimes creep in again, and that's okay. It's something that we have to just realize. We're human. We can work and work and work towards this goal of being, completely emotionally aware and elevated and living our best lives and in this really positive space and free from the negativity and the limiting beliefs and all of those thoughts that don't serve us. But at the end of the day, you will come up against challenges, and sometimes you will really be tested, and it's like, gosh, I thought I was finally at this level that I wasn't going to care so much, about something so silly or something that maybe doesn't have as much meaning as what I'm attaching to it. So I heard from one of my lovely ladies actually last night, and it just made me so extremely happy, because she's at the point that she's getting ready to move into getting married to the guy that she met 6 months ago when she was working with me. And so she had questions on that. And it's like, how do I play this? And the key is, ladies, there is no real play. And I talk to my guys about this too, although for men, there is a little bit more of a strategy that they take on. Women, it's all about the dance. It's all about, moving and flowing, and kind of flitting away and flitting in and out, in a really feminine, empowered way where, your man wants to chase you. And he wants to be excited to get his gorgeous lady. And the nonchalance that a woman has, I use this word a lot because it sums up what an empowered, strong, feminine woman should be when she is searching for love, and that's nonchalant. There doesn't need to be all these expectations of outcomes when you're having fun and you're in your goddess mode. But this can be really hard too, for a lot of ladies. So another one of my women messaged me, I think it was just a couple weeks ago, and it was such an incredible email to get because it was so short and sweet. So sometimes when we have questions, that means that we don't have obviously the internal answer yet. So if I have a woman who's asking me all these questions, it's like she has like 30 questions in her head. She wants to just tackle them all and know the answer right now. That usually tells me that there's a lot of work and internal work that needs to be done. And I always say, I know that when my women have found their one is when they stop talking. It's like silent for a moment. And everything's just working. And yes, there may be blips along the road and, some roadblocks, but for the most part, she's so secure. and she's so secure within herself, and she doesn't need any external relationship to make her happy. However, that is exactly when she gets it. And then she's very nonchalant at that point when she's in this fabulous relationship, because the outcome doesn't really matter at that point, because she's so internally happy and joyful and feeling such effervescent bubbling of love. So I talk about, when we plant the seed within our hearts and our guts, that's when a garden can grow and flourish. But if we're so stuck in our minds, that's when everything gets sabotaged. So my client had just quickly messaged me, and she just said, "Hey, Kelsey, I am so excited because," hi, Jess. Oh, good morning to you, gorgeous. And she said, "You know what? I'm so excited because I am in the best relationship I've ever been in my life." And she has been through a divorce. She's been through a lot of tumultuous things. And she said, "I don't need you anymore. It's so amazing. I can handle anything that comes my way. And I'm not expecting anything in this relationship," but she's having the best time in it. And it was such a short message. It was very sweet and short. And it was like, "I have no more questions for you." And this is a woman who had a lot of questions coming in. She had so many doubts, so many fears, and a lot of confidence, very strong woman, a woman who believed in herself a lot, and she's very successful. She has her own business, a lot of really good stuff going on in her life. But overall, she completely doubted herself in the love department. And it's because she had never felt this kind of really great love before. So if you've never felt what really true healthy love feels like, you will actually not believe it exists. We don't know something until we know it. And the truth is that we can have anything that we want, but you have to be able to see it and feel it in your body, in your bones, in your blood, before you can have it. So a lot of people will say, "Well, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, I'll believe, that love story exists when it comes to me." But that attitude isn't what's going to get you love. That attitude is exactly what's repelling love. It's what's repelling anything really good in your life. There are a lot of people with like money mindset issues. "No, I'll never ever have, I'll never have this, or I'll never have that. I'll never be able to go on this vacation. I'll never be able to buy a house. I'll never do any of these things. When I'm laying on the beach in Maui, that's when I'll believe that I can have it." But if you could start envisioning this and seeing it, and then following just a very simple strategy to get you from point A to point B, that's all it takes to have your fairy tale. There are 1,000,001 great, amazing people out there who are actually looking for love and looking for an amazing partner. So any woman who calls me on, these free breakthrough calls that we offer and says, "I just don't believe it. I don't know. There are just no good guys, and I don't believe that I can have it." And a lot of people will say, "Well, what's your guarantee? If I join your program, you have to guarantee me that you're going to help me find love." There are no guarantees in life. There has to be a level of faith and a level of commitment. So I really believe that a woman who is committed to making her dream happen will make it happen based on doing the work, having a guide, having a tribe, period. There's really no room for failure when you're doing what needs to be done. But there are too many excuses. There are too many, blame games out there, and the disbelief. And if you're not ready to leap into belief and commitment yourself, you're not ready for a bigger program. You're not ready for what's to come next, because I only work with people who are highly committed to making this happen and making it happen now. And it really frustrates me when I get these types of questions, because we have to own our own stuff. And if you're not owning your own story, your own life, and you're making someone else do it all for you, that's exactly what you're reflecting in your love life as well. But a really empowered woman who steps into her greatness and says, you know what? I'm smart. I have a lot going on for myself. I'm, a really successful woman, but I cannot get to point B, and I need help. And I know there are no guarantees in life, but I need help, and I need to take a leap of faith, and I'm committed to making this work. Those are the people who get their love fairy tales. And, it's not for everyone, and it's not everyone's time. I have some women who, they waited until they were 60, even 70 to find the love of their lives. And, you can wait that long, or you can start to believe now that it's possible and stop the excuses that there are no great guys. Everyone online's terrible. Everyone in the world is terrible. You're not good enough. Who am I to have all this great love? Who am I to find this perfect, adoring man who's successful and fit and sexy and amazing and loves me beyond anything and will love me for my flaws and love me for all of my positives and see the beauty within me, even on my bad days? And those are the people. Hi, Louisa. Hi, Anna. Thank you for joining. Those are the people who get what they want in life. And love is a vibrational energy. It is one of the purest forms of energy. And it can be sensed and smelled and sniffed out. So when a woman walks into a restaurant and there is an amazing person who's just like watching this woman, and he just says, wow, that energy is like, you could cut a knife in this room. I could feel that energy. That is the kind of energy you need to be showing up to life with, because that's what starts to get stuff going. You don't need to be online. Most of my women find amazing men organically, but most of them are doing the work, obviously. And then a lot of them still have success online, because there's so much to choose from online. You have to know how to weed through the bad to get to the good. And that energy that I'm talking about, when you walk into a room and you've got it and everyone can feel it. I mean, you'll have people, walking up to you just saying, I don't know why, but I have to just say hi to you. You have an amazing energy. And that will happen online as well. So when you're online and you're trying to navigate, God, there's so many people and all of these seem to be duds. What happens is your energy will start to just flow through and attract the great ones, the ones with the same energy, because like attracts like. Even though opposites attract, there still has to be a similar energy. So if you need more help and clarity around this, it's a pretty big subject, obviously, to talk about in a 15-minute live, but I can dive in deeper with you on clarity sessions that we offer for free. So PM me, or I'll put a link below to my calendar. Either me or one of my experts will get on with you, and we'll talk about, what's really been going on in your life, what's been preventing you to get to that next level, and help close the gap to get you there. So thank you all for joining. I'm going to be jumping onto a call now, but wanted to get on and talk to you a little bit about fairy tales. All right. See y'all soon.